y'all, today's video is a super fun collab. I'm doing the back to homeschool tag. Let's get into it. First of all, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy you're here. My name's Kaela. I'm a second generation homeschool mom to two girls aged 7 and 4 in Texas. This is Ode to Abode, where we love to talk about home education, homemaking, books, all my favorite things. If those are your favorite things too, please consider clicking that subscribe button below. Click that notification bell so you'll be one of the first to know next time I have a video out. Let's get into this tag. So this Homeschool Mama video collaboration is being hosted by Jasmine over at One Caffeinated Mom. I love Jasmine's channel. Her family is so sweet. She is homeschooling overseas and she has lots of great tips and reviews for y'all. So definitely go check out her channel if you are not subscribed to her already. Also, there are a bunch of other homeschool mamas joining this collab. I will link the playlist below in the description box. Jasmine over at One Caffeinated Mom got some questions prepared for all of us to answer, all talking about going back to homeschool. And we know it's a little bit early. Most of us won't officially start our new school year until August. Some won't even start until September. Some have already started. Some of us never stop. You know the drill. With the homeschool world, it's anything goes. But this seemed like a super fun tag to do. So thank you to Jasmine for setting this up. I'm going to jump into these questions right now. Okay, the first question is, what are you most excited about for the upcoming school year? That is a great question. I don't know. I'm excited for all of it. Like, I love homeschooling and I love that back to school season. Like, I love buying new supplies. I love picking new curriculum. I'm obsessed, y'all. I have issues. So I'm excited for all of it. But if I had to pick one thing, I guess I would be most excited to start implementing new approaches, new methods, new tools that I have been picking up very recently as part of my professional development, if you will. I've been doing a lot of reading. I've been really diving in to lots of different approaches for teaching, for home education, but also even reading books and listening to podcasts that are really directed towards the classroom and towards professional educators in the school system. I just have been absorbing so much new information and it's really excited me. It's kind of reignited this passion for education that I have. And so, yeah, I think I'm most excited to try out some new things that I've been learning about. Okay, the second question is, what are your top 3 goals or top 3 things to focus on this year? So I'm like being really spontaneous right now because I haven't written this down. Let's think. So I would say one of them, the first one that comes to mind, I'm not putting these in any particular order, but the first one that comes to mind is more purpose with our reading and our writing. So my oldest daughter is going to be starting 2nd grade. We have struggled a lot with finding resources for language arts, and I feel like I've just recently found some new things that I'm excited to try. I don't know if they're going to be successful, but I'm hoping that we can focus more on creative writing, expository writing, and also just reading with a purpose. So that's my first kind of goal that I'm thinking. And then my second main goal with my other daughter, with my 4.5-year-old, is I really would love to be able to teach her to read in the next school year. She will turn 5 in November, and we've been, building these pre-reading skills, getting her familiar with her alphabet, getting her familiar with her letters, getting her familiar with writing her letters. and building her phonemic awareness, which is all really crucial leading up to actually learning how to read. So that is a big goal for the year, is I would love to be able to actually get her reading. To see her reading by this time next year would be amazing. I would be over the moon excited if that happens. The third thing or goal that I feel like I want to focus more on is history. We had just started our first formal history curriculum at the tail end of this last school year, and we're taking a break from it right now over the summer, but I'm super excited to dive in more to ancient history and also maybe some American history as well. Okay, the third question is, how will you switch up your homeschool experience this year? And then she gives some examples. Maybe you'll have more crafts, maybe you'll have more unit studies. Basically, like, what are you changing? What are you switching up? So some big things that we are switching up, and some of them we've already started. One of them is our 6-week school terms. So we are on a new year-round homeschooling schedule where we're going to try to really hit the books hard for a chunk of 6 weeks. And then every 6 weeks, we will take a break. Sometimes the break will only be for a week or two, and then sometimes it'll be a longer break. I have all of that scheduled out, and I made a whole video about it in case you're interested. I'll link it below just in case. But yeah, I'm really digging this schedule, and kind of going along with that schedule, I am planning on making those 6-week terms periods of time where we might focus on one subject more than everything else. So maybe we'll have a 6-week term where we really dive deep into history, and then maybe the next 6-week term we dive in more with science and we don't do as much history. I haven't gotten all the details figured out perfectly yet. It's probably going to have some trial and error, but I feel like that might work really well for us. With the girls at the ages where they are now, we don't do very well if we're juggling more than like 3 or 4 things a day. Like, we just can't. And so math and language arts are things that we touch every single day. But if that third or fourth thing could kind of rotate every 6 weeks, I think that that would be super fun. I think it would keep us from getting bored. And yeah, I'm excited to try that. The other thing that I want to switch up, I kind of already talked about with the goals, is I want to do a lot more writing and a lot more reading with purpose. Now that my 7-year-old is really reading fluently and she's really built her reading comprehension skills, I am super excited to dive in more with writing. Okay, the next question is, what subject do you think will be the highlight of the school year? That's really hard to guess, but I'm just going to base it on past experience. Our favorites are always art and science / nature study, and I feel like that's probably going to be the same next year. I could be wrong. Maybe we'll really love history. We do love history, but if, like, our top favorite is usually science or art, so I don't know. We'll see. Okay, and the last question is, how do you think this school year will challenge you? Oh, what a good question. I feel like every homeschool year has its own unique set of challenges. Last year, like I mentioned so many times, language arts was a really big challenge for us. Hopefully, language arts will give us a break this year, because I don't know if I can handle another challenging year with language arts. I think that the biggest challenge for our next school year is I really would like to incorporate Spanish. And we are heritage learners as a Latino family. We are heritage learners of Spanish. My husband knows more than me. Neither of us are fluent by any stretch of the imagination. I understand it more than I could speak it. I really would love our whole family would really love to learn Spanish and to be more fluent with Spanish. And it's something that I'm hoping I can incorporate starting with this next school year. I'm nervous about it. I'm extremely nervous about it. And I think because of my nervousness around it, because of how much emotion is tied to it, it might prove to be a big challenge. But I am determined, so just because something is challenging doesn't mean that it's not worth pursuing. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm trying to be optimistic about it. I would love to hear y'all's answers and thoughts to these 5 questions that we just discussed. Feel free to leave any answers or all the answers in the comments. I'd love to get to know you better and see how you're feeling for next year. What are your goals? What are you switching up? What do you think is going to be a challenge for next year? Let me know. Don't forget to go watch the rest of the playlist and hear from all these other fantastic homeschool mamas. Also, make sure you go check out Jasmine's channel. And yeah, if you haven't already, give this video a big thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. I'll see y'all in the next one. Happy homeschooling.